welcome to part 2 of Cochem Castle, where we are touring the inside of the castle. The castle was built around the year 1000 and sits high on a hill of about 330 feet overlooking the Moselle River and vineyards known as some of Germany's popular sweet Riesling wines. The castle was built by Lorraine Palatine counts. In the year 1151, it was known as the Imperial Castle of the German Kings. And from 1294 to 1794, the property of electors and archbishops of Trier had possession of the castle. In 1689, it was destroyed by King Louis XIV. Louis Ravenet, a wealthy businessman from Berlin, bought the ruins and rebuilt it in a neo-Gothic style from 1868 to 1877. The rich interior decoration corresponds to the upscale living comfort of the 19th century. During World War II, the Ravenet family sold the castle to the German Reich. In 1978, the city of Cochem acquired the castle and has been operating as a museum ever since. So we are entering the dining hall, and according to the tour guide, the dining hall, everything that's in there was intentional, the way it's set up. So a rectangular shaped room and a custom made, very much large rectangular shaped table. It was all intentional because back then everything was expected to be symmetrical. So symmetry was a big deal in this Renaissance, neo-Renaissance style. The carvings depicted anywhere from Greek mythology to biblical references. So there's a little bit of both going on in the room with the carvings. The room has 15 feet tall ceilings and is 13 feet wide. And that door there to the right is a facade door to create symmetry in the room, and the dishes there that you see, the ceramic dishes, are from the Netherlands. And the painting there, the paintings they have in the room depict scenes of that go with dining, like food, marketplace. So there again, symmetry. Great costume on that lady, by the way. Loved her costume. And here we are moving into the den, or a study, where people that live there or even worked there could go and study and learn. A common way of learning was through pictures because not everybody could read. So right here we have tiles depicting Bible stories. And the room, the way these rooms were built, well, the way the windows were situated was, they had to rely on sunlight. There was no electricity back then. So they would move from room to room throughout the day as the sun would rise and set to do, from their academics to maybe piano or art, whatever. But I found that really fascinating. And then the second room here, which is just another den, another study room, the paneling in here actually hides right there a secret door. It takes you downstairs to a library and upstairs to the bed chambers. And I really wanted to go in there, but it was off limits. And then the ceiling in this room depicts the 4 cardinal virtues, which is prudence, temperance, fortitude, and justice. So we're entering it's a connecting room that connects one side of the castle to the other. And the main focal point in this room by the tour guide was this chandelier hanging from the ceiling, which is not really a chandelier, or maybe it is. It's a half mermaid, half cherubim. And basically the whole purpose of it was to ward off evil. And anyway, I know, quite superstitious, which wasn't uncommon in that era, but it is an actual artifact from the 16th century. So it was quite fascinating to see something like that from that era. And we're entering the hunting room, which is pretty self-explanatory. You have the trophies, which are basically the antlers and dead animals on the walls of the hunts. And there is a mix of Gothic and Renaissance style in this room, according to the tour guide. Not quite sure what the difference is, but I am not a historian. Anyway, the beer steins there can hold 1 to 2 liters of beer or wine, and he really emphasized that in the tour. That was kind of funny. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Now we're moving on to the main hall, the main room of the entire castle, the main event. This would be basically the living room, the gathering room for the family. So you have a grand piano, it's beautiful fireplace. Now, obviously, this room has been through many renovations over the years, so you'll see, some more 19th, maybe even 20th century styles in this room. But it's still, have this table where they would gather and just talk or play cards or whatever games they played back then. And there's another table there in the back. And having musicians playing for the family was also common, or you would invite guests over. And yeah, so it was just a living room hanging out with family. Ever wondered what they did without all the technology we have today? There you have it. They read books, they played games, they held conversation, there was music. Yeah. It's a gorgeous room. There was classical music playing in this room, but I'm afraid I would have gotten copyright claimed. So I didn't, I turned the sound off. And it was quite noisy throughout the tour because of the festival. So you could really hear the festivities outside very loud. And it kind of echoed. So And now we're headed outside to this balcony that is just gorgeous. And you can't see this balcony from the street because it doesn't face the street. It faces the river, the Moselle River, and it faces the vineyards. So you're literally on the edge, the very edge of that hill or small mountain that the castle sits on. But the view is just breathtakingly gorgeous, and the breeze, the weather was just amazing from up there. I could have sat there all day and just taken in that fresh mountain air, and I can't even describe to you just how relaxing and calming that environment is. And there you have it. You can see the vineyards, those little rectangular shaped pockets there are the grapevines. And this is where Germany is really known for those Riesling sweet wines. It's from the Moselle and from the Rhine, but I'm biased. I love the Moselle River. I love the Moselle Rieslings. Those are my favorite, but it was also my first love in Germany when it came to being introduced to wine and the culture. So that pretty much concludes the tour. It was short. It was only 30 minutes, and it was an abbreviated version of it, I found out, because of the festival. So they were pushing the tours really quickly. And I was also told we could only film snippets of the tour. We could not film the entire thing in its entirety. So did the best that I could. And I'm glad you stopped by. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, as it does help the channel out. And thank you so much again for supporting us, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.